So let's talk about digital games. I saw this tweet earlier today that kind of had me thinking um, about about arguing whether or not it's better to have digital or physical media. And one of the it was just a poll. It was a simple poll that said, "Do you prefer digital or do you prefer um, physical games, digital or physical?" And one of the first responses on there was someone I follow that had said that they prefer digital, and I thought, I mean, okay. Immediately I thought, I like having the physical media. I like having the disc. I like having it on my shelf. I like the way, it looks, as a collector or in my collection or whatever. But the argument that he made was that he likes, digital media because it's easy to just swap out games with no problem and all that stuff. And I thought, okay, yeah, that's a good point. I do find myself wanting to switch games on the fly without wanting to actually switch games in the console, so I can totally understand that. But then he said something that I didn't really expect, and I kind of expected it, but I didn't think it was going to happen today. Basically, he said, there's a large reduction in plastic when you buy a digital game. And then I thought to myself, wow, that sucks. Because even if you wanted to argue your case for physical media and say, I prefer physical media, you're just a jerk. Like, you're just a butthole. Like, there's nothing you can say now as someone who enjoys physical media to say, I'd rather have the physical cartridge or I'd rather have the physical disc or whatever. Because then the argument is just going to be, well, you must hate the environment. And that's not 100% true. I don't think that... I don't hate the environment. I think that it's very important for us to start doing some changes in our lives, in our daily lives, that will help us save the planet, basically. Because this planet's not going to last forever, and if we continue to use it like we are, it's going to be destroyed. But I never thought about me buying physical games as hurting the environment, but I mean, it kind of is. So. But that sucks because it's kind of like I still prefer it. I still prefer like getting the game, whether it's in the mail or going to the store or whatever. But it's just weird because I can't really argue my case anymore because the environment is very important too. So I don't know. I saw that tweet today and I thought to myself, dang, I have nothing to say. There's no comeback for that. There's nothing I can say that's gonna that's gonna sell physical games to someone who has made the decision to not buy them because of the earth. And I'm like, oh man. But I think one of the biggest things for me is that, and I know this is not necessarily going to trump that, but it's basically saying I like physical games because I always have it. I always have access to it. Like, this is Mario Tennis Aces right here. This game will always be my game. No matter what happens in the world of the internet, no matter what happens in the digital space or the Nintendo servers, this is always going to be my game. And I can put it in the console, and it will always play this version of Mario Tennis Aces. So... and that's true with any game that I can hold in my hand. We're looking at a time now where Forza Motorsports, I think, was it Forza 4 or Forza Horizon, where they just said that if you already own the game, you can re-download it, but very soon you won't be able to buy it anymore. And that's scary. That's really scary. That's always going to be true, because I think that there are licensing issues and there are other things that happen that are going to take away from that idea of I can always buy this game, because you can't always buy this game. So it's weird, and I think that there's a that's the only argument to digital content, is that the Switch servers are not going to be around forever. We look at the Wii U, or not the Wii U, the Wii, the original Wii console. You can't get online with it anymore. You cannot go online. You cannot download Pokemon Ranch. Can't do it. So, you know, there's no way for you to download and play Pokemon Ranch right now. I mean, I guess there are ways, but my point is you can't go online normally for the normal person. Like, if your dad wanted to go download Pokemon Ranch for you, they're probably not going to jump through any hoops to try to figure it out. You could probably make it happen if you're very tech savvy or you know your way around the internet, but if you don't, you're probably not going to be able to download that game. And that was the only way that game existed, yes, so I get it, but it's weird. And I think the reduction in plastic, yeah, it does help, and I think if you live in the moment, you live in the now, then yes, digital games are probably better than physical games, and I would never deny that. I guess I'm just worried about future-proofing, and Animal Crossing comes to mind when I think about future-proofing. And you know, if I'm sure they're going to come out with some version of this game that exists with all of the downloadable updates and everything like that included in it, and that's fine. But right now, if you buy the game, if the internet like exploded tomorrow, and you didn't have access to Animal Crossing anymore, you know, it would be like you didn't have access to update Animal Crossing anymore. You would have to play on vanilla Animal Crossing if you go out and bought the game today. So I'm just gonna be honest with you, vanilla Animal Crossing was, I got nothing. It didn't have any holidays. It was interesting, but I think about this. I'm probably gonna get struck by bees here. That's why I'm kind of going slow. But I think about this idea that there was a show called Dark Angel a long time ago. James Cameron directed it and put it out, and it starred Jessica Alba, and it was a really cool show, but it didn't really get the love that I feel like it deserved. But it was one of those things where terrorists had, like, the story behind it was that terrorists had launched a nuclear bomb in the stratosphere, which acted like a global EMP and fried every electronic that was on at the time of the explosion. And I'm thinking, wow, that's freaking crazy, right? I mean, that's probably never going to happen, but and the science behind it probably doesn't even shake out. But what if something like that did happen and all of our electronics were fried? You couldn't download those games anymore. And I mean, you might be bored out of your mind if you accidentally delete them, or you think to yourself today, I don't have to worry about this because it's always going to be there, but then it's not. So I don't know. It's something to think about. The next coronavirus could come around and kind of change the way that we live and think about the internet. So it's just something I worry about. But again, it doesn't change the fact that, you know, reduction in plastic for games in general probably needs to happen, and digital media is probably the future. I guess I'm just not willing to let go right now. And I'm a little paranoid too, I guess. But anyway, form your own opinion. Put it in the comments below. Whatever you feel is appropriate. Be nice though, because I'm certainly not trying to change your mind. Just trying to let you know how I feel. But till next time, guys, take care of yourselves. Catch you on the flippity flip.